Liverman. I give her permission to record.
Hi, Brian. How are you doing today?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah. I was thinking about going back to high school, even though I got my GED, just so I could play sports. But I don't know if it's a good idea.
To go back to high school?
Yeah, just before I go back or go to apprenticeship.
That would be good. That would be good. So, you said just to play sports?
Yeah.
That would be the only reason why?
Yeah, I really don't like school though. Like, I went out to get my GED, so I didn't have to go to some classes, you know, from like 7:30 to like 2:15 to go home to do homework. So I got my GED instead to, you know, have more free time before I go to apprenticeship and do what I really gotta do. But I miss having to go to school, you know, seeing people, you know, friends from, you know, other side of Virginia, you know, where I wasn't living at the time. You know, I have separate different friends over there, and also playing sports, you know.
Right.
Miss that. You don't get to do that anymore.
Right, because all your friends are at school.
Yeah.
Right.
All the ones, you know, on the other side of Newport News. 20 minutes away. I got from my school, you know, I live 20 minutes away from my school, even though I live 5 minutes from a different school. You know, it's closer and more easier to go to, but I went there because I played football. And they automatically pulled me over because they, you know, I was on their roster playing for varsity. So they had automatically pulled me. So I would like to go back just to, you know, go play sports again, or, you know, just fuck around or mess around.
Right. And how would you be able to juggle your classes and such? You would have to keep.
I'd have to maintain. I'd have to do the, you know, the same stuff that I normally did.
Right.
You know, put in, you know, maybe about 70% of effort, and, you know, go by just barely passing. I don't have to really try that hard to get my high school diploma because I already have the GED. You know, I could, you know, just go to high school, you know, for 1 year and then just not go for the next year for senior year. Because I only have 2 years.
Right.
And they're starting right now, so, you know, or to just hop in real quick, go to school, and then, you know, maybe I might go next year. You never know. You know, get a high school diploma and a GED.
Right.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
But
It would be.
I'm not sure.
You're undecided about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you decided any career paths that you were
Looking into welding, and if that's not, you know, the path I choose, I'll look into welding. I mean, electrician or mechanic. And if none of that really works, then, you know, I might just, if I really have no other options, my very last resort, I'll go to, you know, military. You know, maybe for Coast Guard, or just, you know, try to get a welder apprenticeship from through them. Because I have, you know, I have the U.S. Army through my GED. I went through Navy or Commonwealth Virginia Academy, and that's through the U.S. Army. And so one of my recommendations is from a letter from the U.S. Army.
Okay.
So I automatically get put into apprenticeship, automatically from the referral. So they pay for everything, or not pay for everything, but they help me in there. And if I ever need help, I can always go back to them, and they can always help me out with, you know, financial problems that I'm having to get into the apprenticeship. Or shoot, even if I go to the military, they'd probably take me full steps, you know, because I went through them. They'd probably teach me, or another job, I can, you know, be somebody that how people taught me when I did on the Commonwealth thing, you know, going to the camp and teaching kids that are not, you know, doing the right thing in, you know, life, going down the wrong path, such as drugs, stealing, you know, just disobeying parents, walking out, nobody knowing where they're at, you know, running away. Kids like that go there, or kids that are really want the military experience and plan on going to the military go there. And, you know, since you know, I've done, you know, some things that are not good, I could probably help other kids, you know, the same stuff that I went through, I could probably help them out with the same stuff that I went through.
Right.
You know, that they're going through and everything.
Right. That does give you an advantage of that.
Yeah.
So, you speak about your apprenticeship and military and welding and, you know, such forth. what is it that you're trying to gain from, you seem a little undecided.
Yeah, I just want to see which one because the first job you pick might not be the one that you really want.
Right.
So you have to have a backup plan, and that's why I have multiple, so I can go through the list and see which one. Like, yeah, if I don't like this one a lot, and let's say if I don't end up liking none of them, well, maybe I'll just pick one of them and just go with it. If I, which one ever I like the best. And I have multiple options, 5 different options I can choose. They all pay very well. Very well. Just, if welding's not my thing, let's say an electrician is, and let's say, the military's not. But once you go in the military, you really don't get out. So military is the last.
Right.
It's got to be the last straw.
They have like a lot of options.
Yeah, they have more than just like military stuff. They got like even normal jobs. They have like military through like HVAC military.
Right.
And that's heating and cooling. That's an easy, pretty job. You're working on a base to go change people's heating and air conditioning, and you're getting paid to the military, and they're going to be paying you pretty well. All the taxes we pay, it doesn't just go through thin air.
Right.
It goes to them. It goes to the people.
Right.
It might not necessarily be the lower class, but it goes to somebody.
Right.
It doesn't just not go anywhere. It ends up in somebody's possession.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. Those are some good ideas. Then at the point you seem more interested in returning back to school.
Yeah.
And that's for sports or
just
friends,
because they're in
education.
all the coronavirus, all this stuff's going on online, and and they're opening back in November. That's what they're saying. They're thinking, and if not November, they're going to open in February. And when they open, it'd be nice to go back to school. I haven't been able to do anything since I've got my GED. I did all virtual classes. I'd wake up, work from like 8 to like 2 o'clock, and didn't do anything afterwards. And I'd sit there bored trying to do something, and I didn't realize I'd miss like school as much as I did, as I see it as now.
Right.
That was something to look forward to do something, and then at the end of the day, you got the rest of the day to yourself, and then you wake up and do the same thing. But then you got the weekend, and you have something to do. But now with all this stuff going on, all you have to look forward is work, but half all the jobs are closed, So there's really not much you can do, and at least, they're opening schools. I might as well just go back just to have something to do, instead of sitting at home, just doing nothing, watching time click and ticking by.
Yeah.
So, a job's not a bad thing if you find the right job, that's paying you well and you're not doing. But there's not many jobs out unless you're in a rural place instead of a population, how you would see California, Hollywood, all those things are probably all closed right now. I guarantee you there's nothing open over there, or even in New York. Nothing's open.
Right.
With the population. But if you were to see stuff in like Ohio, Texas, and like the country part of Texas, not in the populated like Houston, all those other places, they might be open because there's not many people and there's not a lot of cases. So.
All right. Well, it was good to see you again, Brian.
Yeah.